Hey guys, it is me again, James, in my office. Loving the office. It's actually quite cool to have your own office, to be honest. In this video, so the meaning of this video, I thought this would be quite a good one actually, for a lot of people out there who might want to look into starting a business, or just anyone who's curious, to be totally honest. So we're looking at the perks and the problems of, say, starting a business, and obviously mine's going to be kind of related to the gym. So the problems and the perks that you probably get within a gym, which, you know, is quite good to know. So that's what this is going to be talking about. What I'll do is I'll go through the problems first, I reckon, to get the downside out of the way, and then we can end on a bit of a high towards the end of the video, I hope. And now I reckon that'll be quite a good one, so please stay tuned and watch this video. Problems. Number one. So problem number one, I've actually made a list so I can relate back to the list, is initial finances. Right, so number one problem, I reckon, is the initial finances of actually starting a business. So like I said probably on one of the first videos of actually saying I was going to be getting a gym, is I'm not wedged. I don't have, you know, don't get me wrong, I'm not doing too bad, but then again, that's been earned through hard work. I never really, well, I actually haven't, apart from a little help with the gym style of thing, is I've never sort of had, you know, loads of money sort of there, the option to take and actually bump me up to get a business up and going. So, you know, the initial finances can be hard, and, you know, there are bank loans and all that sort of stuff out there, which I believe can be risky. So if you can borrow money off of someone that you know, or, you know, something like that, that's probably a better option, because the thing is, you know, if you've got that close contact, you're not going to be worrying about getting interest put onto it. Because the problem is, you take out a big bank loan, you know, a good thing is with me with something like this, it wasn't like tens and tens of thousands of pounds to get it going. And if you take out a loan of tens and tens of thousands of pounds, that interest that you're going to be paying on that, you're probably going to be paying, I mean, double by the end of your term of the contract. So like I said, finances can be a bit of an initial problem to get up and going, because obviously you need money to make money, really, to, you know, to actually have a quality service. You want to be going for the best, and to go for the best, obviously, it's expensive. So it's a tricky one, because money makes the world go round, okay? And I've said it before in one of my videos, you know, as good as it is to be like, you know, yeah, you know, I'm doing well, I'm fit, I'm healthy, yeah, you know, that's brilliant. But at the same time, in business, you need money, because the thing is, the top businessmen, they don't care. They don't care who you are, really. Obviously, unless you're top balling, you know, Justin Bieber, you know, rocking around like top dog sort of thing, then they might have an interest. But for someone like me, they don't give a fuck. So basically, I had to put money into this gym to make it work, and that's problem number one out the way. So like I said, probably be careful with your finances. Stow some money away. Build up your money. You know, don't jump straight into something with you know, with not that little bit of support behind you. Make sure you got a bit of support first. Otherwise, you might come into a few tricky situations down the line. And you know, the initial, don't get me wrong, everyone says in business the first year is the test. I'm only 2 weeks in. You know, and I guess I'm feeling the test already, because it's, you don't get that sudden flow of money. You're in minuses from day one. You're in the minus period. So it takes a good time to build it up. But obviously that's where you got to work hard to try and build it up and make sure it works. So that's number one. Number two. So problem number two. There is a lot of waiting around, okay? That's something that I've become to notice in the first couple of weeks of this place. You do a lot of waiting. You got to put in a lot of hours, I guess. So realistically, this first part of the gym, it's been very much, you know, I'm in here for, say, 12 hours a day, sitting in it, and, you know, you can go, it's like fishing. You can go 4 hours with nothing, not even a nibble, no one even having a sniff at the door. But then when people do come in, obviously it's an exciting time. You can actually see in the background a little smile sign. I only just noticed that. That's what Emma put up on the wall to try and keep me chirpy for when those times do happen, because you sit there sort of knocking yourself in the head, itching your head, you know, sort of spinning around. It does get a bit boring sometimes, but at the same time, go through the crap to get for the good. So that's the way I'm believing it. I'm sitting here, I'm waiting, but you know, it's one of them. It comes with business, whatever you do. Like I said, the first few months, whatever, are going to be quiet. If you jump in and start, you know, day one, fully on, busy as anything, that is a very lucky pick. So, you know, I'm not expecting that to happen. I'm expecting a very gradual increase. So putting in the time now, sitting here, doing nothing, and you know, it can get a bit like, but it's one of them. So I'm gonna hold out and hopefully it picks up the future. So that is problem number 2. Moving on to the next one. Number 3. Number 3, problemo for JMO is 24/7. Okay, you are 24/7. If you're in a business, if you own a business, you run a business, anything like that, it is a 24/7 job, no matter what. I even noticed this when I was just doing my personal training, so not even with having the gym, just, you know, day to day, me traveling here and there to another gym to train people. It's a 24/7 job because you're in there all day doing what you got to do, and then you get home and then you're on the computer. And me and Emma, she mentioned it yesterday, same with her. She'll finish and then she'll come back and then she's got to go back on the laptop, sort out orders, sort out paperwork. So you know, the business side of things is hard, guys, don't get me wrong. So it does take, you know, it takes a good strong mindset and probably a good set of balls to be able to sort of, you know, do something like this, because it's, a lot of people get comfortable, I suppose, and that's the best way to sort of look at it. Is, you know, you can be employed by someone, so you know, you can just have a job, you know, 9 to 5, you know your stability, you know you're safe, you know you're getting a wage pack at the end of the month. As where for me, it's like, I don't know what money's coming in, I don't know what I'm going to get at the end of the month. You're always living on a bit of a knife edge. For me, it's exciting, and not a lot of people like it, but you know, I do kind of enjoy that. It always has me in a panic, always has me worrying. Times I'm complaining probably 80-90% of the day, but you know, it makes it interesting. So that is a problem, I suppose, is that you're working 24/7, but I like to be busy, so it is quite good as well in a way. It's not necessarily a perk, but you know, so for anyone out there who doesn't like that full-on lifestyle, you know, where it's literally get up, go, you're there, you know, you got to do your stuff, you got to do your stuff all day, you get home, you do more stuff, you know, it's 10 o'clock at night, you're 13-14 hours in of, you know, non-stop working, you got to carry on. It's just like, it's full on, and you will get messages off people at the most random times. So you could be like, you know, Saturday evening, I don't know, watching like X Factor, hitting the red buzzer, and then someone, you know, might pop your message saying, can I have a session, you know, somewhere like tomorrow, and you know, you've got to respond, you've got to be able to keep that, you've got to be on top of your game the whole time, so it can be quite stressful on the mind. So I guess that is a bit of a problem, and that is why I've got a lot of grey hairs going through these days. They're popping through probably because of the stress levels, but that is the 3 main I would say initial problems, not necessarily massive problems, but just little things that I've noticed in the first 1.5 weeks, and you know, I just thought it'd be nice to put them across to you. So that gives you an idea of the problems. So you've got the initial finances can be a struggle, you've got a lot of waiting, which is also a struggle, and 24/7 full-on work. It is non-stop. So let's hit this on a high note and let's move into the perks of the job as well. So you don't sit there thinking, actually, this kid's a nutter because he's going for a self-employed business that's actually crap. But realistically, it's not crap. So let's move in to the good parts, and yeah, stay tuned for that one. So guys, we're moving on to the perks of the job. The perks. Proper Wiltshire accent there, like, you know. Great big bushy beard. That's what I've got going on right now. It's coming through. It is coming through. So let's move on into the perks of the job. It's another 3. I'm only sticking to the 3 today. You know, setting a bit of a limit on it. I don't want to bore you guys too much with a long video chatting crap. So I would say perk number 1. The first thing that could sort of pop to your head is being your own boss. That is a big thing I really enjoy and I like having, because the thing is, I can come into work, you know, you still got to be strict on yourself, so obviously your own boss, you still got to be kind of strict on yourself, but you've not got that sort of struggle of constantly worrying that there's someone watching over you, that there's someone sort of, you know, looking at you thinking, what are you doing, what's going on. I'm a big person for basically saying, right, I've got this to do, if I do it, I can chill out. I can sit back and scratch my nuts if I really want to. So that's, you know, that's what I'm a big believer in. I'm always thinking on my feet, thinking on top, trying to get stuff done. So if I can, you know, come into work, have a list to do, smash out that list, I can then chill a little bit with no one sort of there thinking, what are you doing? What are you doing? You got to do something when there's actually nothing to do. So I'm a a very active kind of guy. So I'd say being your own boss is a brilliant perk. I mean, that probably weighs out all the bad anyway. Just for the fact that, you know, you can tell yourself what to do. If there's a day, you know, where it's just like, if you are feeling probably like crap, especially in a gym, for example, you know, where you can sort of, you know, write up plans and stuff like that. It's a bit different, I suppose, if you've got a job where it's like, well, Emma, for example, so she'll have clients in all day because she does beauty, so she'll be like, you know, waxing someone's undercarriage 1 minute and then painting nails another minute, and it's full on. So yeah, she doesn't get that sort of break. So I'm quite lucky really to have this style of business where you do have those little breaks where you can sit down and zone out a little bit. So, you know, but then at the same time, she, you know, that's because that's getting the money in, so that's why she wants to be so full on, you know. And I think deep down she really does like it, to be quite busy. So that's, you know, that's the thing. You get the option to say, actually, yeah, I want to work. No, I don't want to work. You know, it's like the Queen's birthday, I'll take the day off or something like that. You've got the options to do pretty much what you want, and I think that is pretty cool. So that's number one. Moving on into the next one. Number two. Another big one. To be fair, the perks I reckon are a lot bigger than the problems actually. So this one I think is awesome. Basically, what you earn is yours. There's no simpler way to put it. If someone comes in and pays, you know, a package for PET, you know, someone's like, here you go, bang, 180 quid. That's your 180 quid. You know, fair one, obviously you got to weigh up the consideration of tax and stuff like that, and your rent and all that sort of stuff. But at the end of the day, what that money is coming through the door is yours. You know, so it's quite a nice feeling to be able to actually think, you know, I've earned this much today, that's my money, that's not lining someone else's pocket, that's actually lining your pocket. So realistically, for the future, you know, a business, and if there's, like I said, anyone out there looking to do a business, realistically, I'm a big believer that the only way to earn big money is unless you are, you know, mega qualified and wanting to sort of focus on maybe, yeah, I want to be a doctor, you know, where they're sort of, you know, high end sort of jobs like that, or a banker or something like that. Don't get me wrong, jobs like that you can get employed and earn loads of money. But the thing is with, I suppose, having your own business is that you know you're earning it for yourself. If there's someone above you, they're always going to be earning more. So technically, if you're the boss and there's no one above you, you're always going to be earning the most in your business. Good way to think about it, and always keep that in the back of your mind if you want to look into starting a business. Because let's face it, you know, it's the hard work, and the problems are hard work. But then at the end of the day, get a few years in, you know, if it goes all flowing nicely, then you're doing well. I mean, you look at some of the top, you know, brand owners of things. They're laughing now because they took that jump. And, you know, I'm a big pusher for Jordan with his with the muscle monkey, because he's got that mindset. He wants to do well, and he is pushing it. And for a 20-year-old lad, he's doing really well. So you know, he's got that mindset to say, yeah, right, I'm going for it, I'm going to push. And then at the end of the day, what he gets in is his money. Yeah, fair one, you've got to obviously afford all the products and all this sort of stuff, but the actual profit goes into his pocket, and it's not percentage down with someone else earning more. So I'd say that's a big one to remember, guys. That's perk number two, and then we'll just move on into the third and final one. Number three. Oh, right, number three, the final perk of the day is the sky's your limit. The sky is your limit on having a business. Okay, that is probably a top end sort of perk. If you go into a normal job, you're limited straight away. I mean, there's only so much you can do technically in a job. You know, you can always aim for promotion and aim to do better in that job, which, don't get me wrong, I'm not sort of saying that, you know, employment is crap, because it's not, because you have got the support and the, you know, the comfortable, you know, you're supported the whole way. But in your own business, the sky's your limit. If you want to do something, you can do it. There's no one stopping you with what you want to do. So realistically for me, I've got this gym going on now, which, you know, for me it's like a private gym, it's an exclusive gym, and I like that feel. That's something that I want to really push for people. So it's basically a gym for people who don't want to go to the gym, pretty much, you know, because big gyms are intimidating and stuff like that. I don't want that feel here. I want people to walk through the door and think, you know, I'm happy, it's a nice place to be. No matter what ability, they can come in, train and feel comfortable, and that's really what I want to push. And my limit, well, actually, like I said, there is no limit, so chuck that out the window. there is no limit. So what I'm actually aiming for, instead of a limit I suppose, is, you know, I've got this one now, but say 5 years down the line, what's stopping me having another one? And then another one. And then, you know, maybe another one in another country. It's all these little things, you know. Yeah, it sounds ridiculous now. I'm not, you know, I'm not planning anything like that right now, but you know, it's always good to have those little things on the back of your head. And that one on the back of my head is thinking, actually, I'd love to have a chain of suigenerispt gyms, which are small private exclusive gyms, and I think that could work well, because that's what this place is, and that is what my business is. So, you know, there's all these little ideas that can pop into my head, and if I want to do them, I can do them. It's, you know, big sort of investments and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, guys, if you're limitless, what's stopping you getting more, pretty much? So I'm going to leave it there because I have ranted on for this video. It's quite a long one, but I hope it's gave everyone a few little tips, a few little, you know, ideas of, you know, getting a business going. It doesn't have to be a gym. Like I said, you could literally be invent a new post-it note or something like that. You know, I'm giving out ideas here. These should be my ideas. That could be a big money maker. Like I don't know. Actually, no, I can't think right now, but there is a post-it note business out there that needs to be done. So, you know, you could do something like that and make that work. Think about it, guys. There's a lot of ideas out there, and don't hold back. If you've got an idea and you want to go for it, I'd say go for it. People wouldn't have believed me. Well, they didn't believe me when I said last year, next year, I'm gonna have a studio or a gym. People chuckled, okay? So take that little chuckle, stick it right up their arse, and then do it. Okay, so that's my best motivation for you, is sticking up their ass and getting on with it. So thanks for watching again, guys. Keep it coming. Like I said, subscribers are going up really well, and the support's going really well. I've been getting messages from people, you know, saying, like, just loving like the videos and the feedback that I'm sort of trying to give. You know, so let's keep it coming. Let's keep this channel growing, and let's see where it can get to, and see where, you know, I can sort of push this sort of business. And hopefully, if there's anyone out there who sort of gets a business, let me know how it goes. Catch you in a bit.